Good morning from Sugar City Studios, historic Johnson Square in Savannah, Georgia. Welcome to North Point of View, Mark Hall with Dr. Walter Kemmsies. Walter, how you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, Mark. Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, a lot going on right now. One of the things that seems to be, in the news, and maybe I'm just a little bit more aware of it, is sort of the introduction of 5G. I'm not exactly sure all of what that means. We'll get into that. But one of the things that you and I have talked about, you used the example that if there were 5 people on their cell phones in your living room and everybody was trying to watch Netflix, there'd be this buffering. Well, with 5G, you could have 200 people, inside your yard. Everybody would have access with no buffering. And so one of the questions is, all right, that's cool. What does that mean for business? What's the application? How does that enhance productivity? And one of the things I read yesterday was that it wasn't Home Depot, but it was some company like that basically could use the technology. You could snap a quick picture on your phone of an item that you're looking to purchase, scan that to their website, and within 3 seconds, they could check their entire worldwide inventory in 3 seconds and tell you a price and a date to be delivered to your home. That's big. That's like Amazon plus. And so it just seems to me, it sort of all clicked when I read that to say, okay, I get it. Productivity, GDP, how it all connects in that one instance. Can you sort of dive into that and break it down and then, show us how maybe that sort of filters throughout our economy?
Having the ability to transmit and receive a large volume of data is very important if you're going to take advantage of the amount of data that we generate on a daily basis. The estimates of how much data you generate every day via your phone calls, what you look at in the internet, the emails that you send, all of this is I'm told it's somewhere between 1 gigabyte to a lot of gigabytes of data. And if you could capture that data and analyze it properly, you could predict things far more accurately. And in fact, this is happening. So it's not about how fast you can transmit the data as much as it is about, can you store all of this data? Can you process it very quickly? And when we say process it, what we really mean is using artificial intelligence.
Right.
And so what you really want to get to is not that I take a picture of something and I can send it to a company's website. They can identify where they have it, how much it would cost, and when they could get it to me. It's about being able to predict that you're going to take that picture and send it to them, and being able to predict where you are when you send that picture so they can be even faster about it. And this does happen already. Some retailers, and I'm not going to mention names here, but they e-commerce deliver some household staples like toilet paper. Predicting how much toilet paper is going to be sold in an area is relatively straightforward. It's the number of people times how much the average person uses per day. And you don't wait until somebody orders more for you to go find it in your warehouse and get it ready. You can pretty much tell when they're going to need more, and you start putting it as close as possible to the rooftops before they hit the purchase button on the website. So that's what it's really about. It's anticipating when the demand is going to hit.
So I know this is sort of on a tangent, but I visited a certain hotel chain that's sort of legendary for their service. Let's just say it, Ritz-Carlton, right? And in their guidebook, which every employee keeps on them at all times while they're on the property, there was these 10 rules, and one of them or guidelines, and one is to anticipate the customer's needs.
The Wayne Gretzky rule.
Yeah, exactly. And so that is the difference, right? Mm-hmm. The difference between reaction and anticipation and meeting that customer's expectations. And now what you're saying is even before they've asked for it, it's on the way.
See, exactly. And this really saves you money because if I don't know, let's say I import a lot of a product that I expect to sell throughout the Southeast. I bring it in through the port here in Savannah, but I don't know whether most of it is going to be sold in Orlando or Atlanta or Memphis, Nashville, Charlotte. I just don't know. So what do I do with this product? Should I just put a fifth in each of those 5 locations? Or should I just keep it here? Because if I send it to each of those 5 locations, and it turns out that there's huge demand in Orlando and not a lot in Charlotte, the stuff that I sent north to Charlotte is going to have to get turned around and shipped way south to Orlando. So I have basically shipped the product twice when if I had just left it in Savannah, I only would have shipped it once. Now, if I could anticipate what was going to happen, a lot of Orlando sales, very little Charlotte, then I would be able to just send it immediately to Orlando, have availability, and reduce the risk of getting a stock out. Because nothing costs you customers more than empty shelves or promising second-day delivery, which turns out to be second-week delivery. You don't get second chances with the consumer these days.
Right, and we haven't really seen that until this past year, when with the pandemic, literally.
Yes.
Shelves empty, 2-week delays, which in this country, I don't remember that, other than maybe hurricanes and that kind of thing, literally in my lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, the closest I've ever seen in the U.S., in Brazil, that happened all the time. I grew up in Brazil, and, Brazil is a great country, but, sometimes they don't take some things as serious as they should. But up in New Jersey, they weren't either. When I was living there, we had we had an ice storm and a couple of hurricanes, and the state literally shut down for a week afterwards. No electricity, empty stores, trees all over the roads. You couldn't get anything to the stores. So the only thing you could do was pack up and go spend a week somewhere else.
Walter, thanks again.
Certainly. Take care, Mark.